Today on the Savage Board Gaming channel, one chance to win. Because everybody else will slipstream around me here. So here's what I'm thinking, right? I normally keep track of the cards in my deck, but I wasn't sure exactly what I had left here. I thought it might be a heat, but I had lost count. It happens sometimes. So I'm thinking if I'm stuck here, I'm going to lose regardless, right? There's no way I'm going to stop Batman from crossing the line before me. If I'm stuck behind here, everybody else is going to slipstream me, right? So I decide, let's take a chance here and slipstream through this or boost through this turn. Maybe I'll get my one. Hello, this is Brian Savage back again with another Heat game review, um, or I should say race review. This is a race where I didn't do so well. I actually came in last, so I want to go through it, break down where I've made mistakes. Maybe I didn't set up a good enough plan to actually execute a winning strategy, and then go from there. Like I said, I'm still new and learning this game, but I've been doing pretty good in Arena. I'm at gold tier, working towards elite at the moment. I kind of started in the Arena late, so I've only been playing Arena for about a week or so. Maybe about 2 weeks, I would say. So let's go through the board here. And if you've never played Arena, um, on Board Game Arena, played Heat in Arena, the setup is there's four human players and a legend. It is the gray legend this time, which is in last place. We have cloudy conditions, which is it'll remove one stress from our deck, but and this is very crucial here. Um, Wherever there's a weather effect on the board, you cannot use cooldown. Um, and I noticed this at the beginning. I was like, oh, well, I got to be careful there. And, you lose track of concentration. You know, um, you'll see later on how that affects me. But let's go through the actual board. So there's the weather effect right here. So there's no cooldown in this section between this 2 corner and this 4 corner. There is a free boost on this long straightaway, which is really good. You get a bonus here for speed, so you can go through at 6. But here's a rough part here is there's speed limit reduction on both of these turns, right? So looking at this, I think my plan was, once again, let's get some wings to get through these turns that are lowered. And let's see if I can maybe get some slipstream to help me through this section here um, towards the end. Let's set up to where I can make a strike at the end here to get through this turn and then race towards the finish line. Once again, in this game, you just want to set yourself up so that in the final turn that you have a chance to win. Um, so the decisions you make each turn need to support that goal, right? So let's go through here. I don't remember this draft all that well. So let's go through it here. Batman, who's pretty good racer, I believe he's an elite or gold like I am. I've raced against him multiple times, like multiple times. So he picks up wings. So he has the same idea that I had, which was that. But I think I was a little bit gun shy about taking the 6 wing because it does cost 2 heat, and there's an issue with cooldown in this one section, right? So I took body 6, which will cost 1 heat, but I can get rid of my stress. So that's more for this straightaway section, so that I can get through it quicker than most people. Mort picks up a fuel. I don't know if that's just more for the boost, but it also lets you take 2 cards from your discard and reshuffle them back into your deck. And you get a cooldown off of it. So takes 1-3 breaks. I take a gas pedal too. Just to help once again, if I'm short through a turn, like this section here, I need to get up to the line. I can play that gas pedal, maybe stay in a lower gear, do a cooldown before this section. But as you see, I play pretty poorly in this one. So another fuel card is taken by Inti, I think is how you say it. Okay. And Batman takes the second wing. So he's taken 2 wings, right? So there are no more tires or wings in this draft. So really what I need is Slipstream, right? Let's see if I did that. It takes the 4-wheel drive with the 3 boost. Like I said, it's always a good card. It's very useful in these straightaways, especially at the end of the game where you want to move as far as possible. So, I mean, I might have taken this 4-wheel drive actually. Yep, that's what I did. So 4-wheel drive, and then every boost I play, I can move an extra space. So that includes any pluses on cards or any time I spend heat the boost or I use this free boost here. I'm not sure if that was probably the best choice. Um, Probably was stupid of me to do that, but I did it. So Inti chooses suspension with the slipstream. It's pretty consistent. You always have that bonus slipstream in your hand as long as you keep putting this back on top of your deck. Batman chooses body 5. It's very similar to my body 6. Just doesn't cost a heat. And he chooses a body 2, which gives him slipstream. Okay, everything's going pretty okay because I'm going to get a slipstream here in a second. Suspension 2 is okay, I guess. I take the RPM with the slipstream. Okay. I think what I do here is get rid of the gas pedal. Let's see here. You have to excuse me, I don't remember everything in the race. I just remember the main mistake I made. But there's probably multiple issues I had during this race. France is a tricky track for me because there are all these long sections in between turns. So you're speeding up and then slowing down and speeding up and slowing down, then really speeding up and then slowing down. And then you have that straightaway. So, okay. I did get rid of the gas pedal. All right, start of the game. 12 away from the turn. I'm going to play these 3 cards here, I believe. Looks like we're all doing the same thing. At the beginning of the game, it's pretty good to get here. It's very unlikely somebody's going to slipstream through this turn on the first turn of the game, especially when you have an issue with cooldown. But then again, you're really not going to see your heat probably until like later on than this first lap. So spending your heat now might be a good idea. Oh, I fell up short. I moved 9. What did I do? Maybe I didn't do what I thought I did. Oh, I played one of my stress. That's probably a bad idea. Yeah. I probably should have played just the 4-4-3 and just got as far along as I could. So, as you'll see, everybody will pass me here. So I'm already in a hole because of a bad decision I made here. Yeah, the reason why this is so bad is I'll have to spend an extra heat even to catch up. So I would need to go through here at a 7. And that's if they don't spend extra heat because this is the first turn of the game. So they might even extend their movement by 1 and go 7 also. It's not an ideal situation to be in. But Inti goes 6. Still early in the race. Maybe doesn't want to take a chance. I am pretty aggressive when I play, but that's because I am preparing for the World Series of Board Gaming. So you don't get anything for second place. So my goal is to try to be getting first every time if I can. So I have to Ricky Bobby it. If you're not first, you're last, and go from there. Okay. So Mort moves 6 also, and we'll slipstream. Did I? So I did go 7. So now the real problem here is even with the 7, I will not be able to slipstream because I was 2 behind red and green here. So 2 behind Mort and 2 behind Batman, right? So they're going to slipstream around blue, and it's going to leave me short. So I spent a heat for little gain. I might have used an adrenaline here. I can't remember. Oh, gray actually helps me. Thank you, Legend Car. I don't plan what the Legend Car is going to do. Just it does what it does, and maybe I should learn how they work better. Maybe I could use them better. Don't know. Something I have to look into. Okay, turn is a 2. A lot of times on this turn, people will go 3 to try to prevent slipstreaming. We'll see how it goes. Um, I chose my RPM, praying that I could just get through it and slipstream through here, right? Is probably a bad idea. Yeah, Batman actually goes 5. It's early in the race. He has all of his heat. Prevents a lot of people normally from slipstreaming. But you'll see here, I think everybody goes crazy and goes like 4 or 5 through this turn. Um, yeah, Mort goes 6. So this really put me behind. Inti, I'm going to say that's how you pronounce it. I apologize if that's wrong. Um, goes 3. I get a 1. Yay. But I have my adrenaline, right? And that'll let me move 5. Didn't cost me any heat either, so. Uh, Now this is another tricky turn here because it's a 3 because of the -1. We have to figure out exactly what Mort is going to do. So I have two people in front of me. My goal is to slipstream off of one of them. Um, this was a rough race. I think I did not succeed. I can't remember. He only goes two, so that might have actually helped me because I go four here. So I actually do get to slipstream him. Batman goes five again. So he's playing very fast and loose through these turns, um, mainly because he has the heat to do it, you know? He also has two wing cards in his hand, so it helps him through a lot of turns also. So I go my four. I get to slipstream up to the front here. Now, I'm not sure if this is a good strategy or not. On this turn, or this strip here, I like to get people in front of me if possible. So a lot of times I like to end up here, you know. So let's see what I draw. So I'm at 8, so I probably do the 7 here, 3 and 4. Of course, I got to finish up this turn first. Yep, 3 and a 4 gets me to there. Perfect. I like to have a card in front of me here so I can potentially slipstream this section. Problem is that this is a 2, so um, Batman's been shown to spend heat getting through these turns with the extra space or two. So um, he's very unpredictable, even though I've raced against him many times, which is good. You want to be unpredictable. Sometimes you want to, maybe not move your full amount or move extra, kind of throw off the other racers so they can't use you as a catapult to extra movement, you know? So we're all bunched up again. So in order to get around this turn, I would have needed to spend 4. I only moved 3, so I'm going to get kind of stuck here. Once again, you see that, Batman has spent all of his heat to get through this turn. It's a wild strategy. Um, that he does in this race. Not sure if it pans out for him. I can't remember. All I know is I did not do well. So let's see what we can learn from this, right? So maybe he's setting me up for like the second lap where he's a little bit more conservative. I mean, you can do that too. You do have 2 laps in this game, as long as you stay close to each other. Um, it's you can be pretty successful. What you really don't want to do is get 2 turns behind. If you do that, you're pretty much done. Okay, Mort gets through the turn. I do not get through this turn because once again, Batman had a heat in his hand, so he can get through this turn. Maybe back down to 0. Um, I'm not a big fan of coming out of these last turns at 0 though myself, because I would rather upshift or boost. He might have assumed that since he got a free boost here, that it's worth just being here at 0 and going up to 3rd gear and boosting. But I tend to like to have some heat on the last turn of each lap. So I might actually break my own rule though, because I will have 1 heat. Well, I do not get through this turn regardless, so I go right up to the line. Yep. So I'm 1 turn behind again. Once again, really no need to panic at this point. Oh, shoot. I used my adrenaline to get across the line. So I paid my 2 heat and slipstream. Oh, I spent 3 heat because I moved 7. Yep. So I broke my own rule here. Like I like to have heat coming out of here, but I might have had that same thought where I'll get in the 3rd gear, I'll have a free boost here. But what really hindered me here, I think, is I'm not in like one of the last 2 places to cool down this heat. So if I go into 3rd gear, I'm not cooling heat. So I'm going to be at 0 heat through this straight away. Okay. Pretty good turn for Inti with the boosts, the plus symbols. Really what I'm doing now is struggling just to keep up with everybody. So 3 of the racers have spent all their heat. So what I'm going to do is boost here, right? Because I played my 4-wheel drive, which gave me the +1 to each time I used a stress or a boost. So that got me up to here so I could then slipstream. But I'm in a dangerous situation here, right? I really don't have enough heat in my hand. I'm at 9 away. It's going to be hard to get to that turn. If I get to the turn too far, I might let people slipstream by me. So it's not ideal. Like if there's more people in front of me, I would feel better. So, but Mort has fixed that by flying way ahead of everybody and put himself in a big lead here. Legend car is inconsequential at the moment, so it's not going to be a factor in this game. He's going to get around the turn. He could have moved 1 more, but he may not have had the right cards to do it. So he goes 5 through this 6th turn. I chose the 2 4s to get as close as possible and cool down the heat. Inti falls short. It's going to do a free boost, which puts them right at the 1 spot. So I'll be right next to them again. Obviously, I cannot go through this turn since I moved 8. Now I see all this heat building up in my hand, and this is where my brain is like, you can get rid of this heat coming up here, which I probably shouldn't have done. It's not this turn coming up. It's the turn after. And it's a lesson in making sure you're focused on what you're doing. I think at this time I also had a video playing in the background, which I was looking at. So, obviously I won't have these distractions if I play the World Series, but still, you can lose focus on many different things, Maybe you had a bad turn and now you're like frustrated, or you got a bad draw, just got to focus on what's going on at that turn. Take each turn separately. Forget about the last turn. Don't worry about the next turn. Just worry about what turn you're on. I think is probably going to be the best strategy going forward. But yeah, I was slightly distracted when I did all this because my goal was to get up here. I go 6. I slipstream. I get rid of 2 heat. Right? Got rid of all his heat, but watch this. When I draw 3 heat. So whenever I draw 3 heat, my first instinct in my brain is go into first gear, right? Let's go into first gear, get rid of that. You're on a small turn, right? That's pretty easy. Just play your 4. You'll spend 2 heat on the other side, right? But then put back 3, so you'll gain an extra heat back into your engine, right? But I forgot about this weather condition. So I play my 4. Well, once the game decides to move. And this is what cost me the race here, definitely. So let's think this through here, right? I come through here. I can't, I'm in 3rd place. I don't have adrenaline to catch up here. I've now spent 2 heat. I can't replenish the heat back into my engine this turn. I am now 5 away from this turn. And with 1 heat in my engine, yeah, it's not great because this is a 3. So even if I get through this, I'm going to have to spend 2 heat. I've now put myself into a bad position with heat management. Yeah, it's very disappointing that, I wasn't paying attention. That's only one person to blame for that. That is me. And he gets through, uses adrenaline to catch up, and then will slipstream me. So all the bad things has happened to me here. So I think I overreact and say I need to get through this turn. I probably should just been a little bit more patient and stopped short, right? And saved my heat, but I didn't. I just said, let's charge forward here and try to stay relevant. I do get a little bit of luck here with Mort pulling up short. You know, you only had two heat, so I can understand that move. But so when I see that, I see somebody pull up short, I'm like, oh well, there's not going to be anybody in this spot really. So yeah, definitely at this point I'm on tilt because I was pretty upset with myself that I did that. So, and that happens in all games. I play other games other than this, obviously. Um, first year I made it to the finals of Bloodrage, but kind of the draft wasn't exactly what I needed to get the win. I did the best I could with it, came in second. Um, but many of these, I'm in four ring tournaments each year, and I've only made one final table, and one simple mistake can snowball you. Like this year, I was distracted at the table, was busy chatting it up before the game with the fellow competitors, and misread one of the goals of Arc Nova. I read it as species diversity, and it was habitat diversity. So if you've played Arc Nova, those are two totally different goals, and I misread it, and it cost me that game. Not that I'm very good at Arc Nova either, but um, I do enjoy the game a lot. I'm no I'm no Sam or JD at Arc Nova. If you know No Wonders Channel or JD Secret Police, they're some of the top Arc Nova players. So even with my mistake, I'm still kind of in it. My heat's not great. I don't have a very good way through this turn. Um, I think here's where I take a chance because I just feel like I have to at this point. I only chose three, so I did take it safe here. So I'm going to put a heat back into my engine, but spend one. So this is catastrophic right here for me. Moving one is not great for me because I moved three. If I would have known he was going to move one, which there's no indication that he's going to do that, or they're going to do that, I should say. I don't say he, but they're going to do that because they have so much heat in their engine, right? Like, why? So red moves. He does the three. Um, green will zip ahead Batman. Still at one heat. Now what I really do need is heat to be drawn. I did not. I drew one heat. So um, having low heat in your engine's okay if you keep drawing it and you can keep in a gear where you can get rid of it. I lucked out there. But here we go. We need to get through this turn. I'm hoping that green will only go 5. But we know Batman's probably not like that. He goes way more than 5. Now, I should have known by the way Batman had played all through the first lap. They did that. So I did a 3 in RPM to try to slipstream, right? Because there's a good chance either I was going to get there or I was going to get through it. But yeah, it was not great for me there that he moved that far. In fact, I pull up short of the line here, which cost me everything because everybody else will slipstream around me here. So here's what I'm thinking, right? I normally keep track of the cards in my deck, but I wasn't sure exactly what I had left here. I thought it might be a heat, but I had lost count. It happens sometimes. So I'm thinking if I'm stuck here, I'm going to lose regardless, right? There's no way I'm going to stop Batman from crossing the line before me. If I'm stuck behind here, everybody else is going to slipstream me, right? So I decide let's take a chance here and slipstream through this or boost through this turn. Maybe I'll get my 1, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. I moved. If I get a 1 or a 2, right? I'm safe. I'm sorry, just a 1. If I get a 1, I'm safe. But I'm probably going to come in last anyways, right? So let's take the chance. It doesn't pay out for me. I draw the 4, which is the last card in my deck. I crash. It was the only real play to if I wanted to win, and that's what you're looking for. You want to put yourself in a position to win. Um, all my decisions up to this point did not put me in a position to win. Um, so by making that play, I tried to put myself into a position to win, right? But it just didn't work out. It happens. There were some decisions, like I said, this going into first gear and forgetting about the weather condition really hurt me. Um, you know, trying to slipstream here when I should have known Batman has a tendency to spend more to get through these turns. Um, Knowing your opponent's something like, if you watch them in the first lap, you get an idea of what they might try to do in the second lap. So I should have known that. But I didn't. I didn't follow through with what I should have done. So I crash. Everybody else is going to get by me here. I don't feel bad about this last move. It was the right move to do. I just didn't count my cards well enough. Because if I would have counted my cards, I would have just not boosted. Yeah, there it goes. Everybody's in position to win. And we go through it, right? So let's look at the end game here, right? Inti is in third gear, has a heat. That's not going to be consequential because you can get up in the fourth gear without it, and the boost is free. So unless they have a card that'll cost a heat, they're pretty much set. They didn't need the heat. Mort's already in fourth gear. Yep, gets a free boost. Batman is in fourth gear. Has some bad luck on the boost. There it is. Now the question is, can I beat the legend car? The legend car has a tendency to cheat, but I think I do at least beat it. Let's look at my last turn here, right? I can only move so many just because of the position I was in. I didn't have the heat to play my body card. So I just try to move 7, do a free boost. I think I end up getting a 2 or something like that. Or do I get across here? I get a 1. So, not to be superstitious, but this has happened to me multiple times. Okay. I now have heat. So I can play my 6. So I don't think there's a chance for the legend car. Poor legend car. And there we go. Last place. So learning from this, try to stay focused on what you're doing. Don't lose track of your count. Um, Make sure that you're putting yourself in good positions. Um, like off the bat, I kind of had that misfire by spending that stress. Stress might be better to play through here. I think also I didn't use my free boost. Maybe I should have did that um, on that first turn also. But this is an example of having a plan before you race. I didn't follow through with the plan I should have had, which is get some help through these turns by taking the wings. I did pass on that 6 wings in the draft, and or boosts. I didn't follow through on that, which is this is a real crucial part of this track from here through here, right? Just because of the conditions that are out here. You got that no cooldown, and you have the slow down speed limits, right? But yep, really bad game that I played here. But even with that bad game, I still could have possibly won if I would have kept my count right. I might have been able to figure that out beforehand and not put myself in a position to end up right before this line. So thanks for watching again, and I'll catch you later.